Hi, I'm Abby Hall, and I'm a professional trail runner for Adidas Terrex, and I'm also a graphic designer here at TrainingPeaks. I compete in some of the toughest ultramarathons around the world, where having the right gear is really important. So today I'm going to show you the items that I carry in my pack with me. You want to start with a lightweight pack that fits well and gives you good access to hydration and other items you'll need on the run. So this is my pack, and one of the things I really like about it is the pockets that are down low for items like phone, your calories, any things you want to have immediately accessible. But these up high pockets are great because you can drink from them while you're running and you don't have to fiddle with too much. It's also nice to have these pockets in the back for some of the heavier items you might bring on longer runs, and if you keep those items back low, it'll help eliminate bouncing and keep your center of gravity lower when you're running. So I wouldn't bring too much more than what I've got on me right now for a standard training run, but if you wanted to be out for a bit longer in the mountains is when I would start to pack some additional items like layers or headlamp. A water filter is one thing I've actually already got on here, so this just screws into my normal bottle, and I really like it because then you can just drink straight from it. I put my layers in this main compartment. It's gonna feel like a tight fit, but that's actually a good thing because it'll help keep the pack from bouncing. This is my waterproof jacket, which I'm also gonna put in there. Good to have out when there's unexpected weather like we have here in Colorado. And then items like gloves and a headlamp are things I might put in this lower open pocket because I can actually reach those while I'm running. So yeah, we'll bounce test. So we've got what we need for an average long run or big mountain day, but one thing to cover on would be what you might need for a specific race. So a big race like UTMB, they have a huge required gear list with things like spare batteries, an emergency blanket, different bandages and things for worst case scenarios. So what I usually do with that gear is try and put it all in a really small Ziploc bag, kind of precariously placed in there all tight, and I put that in the deepest part of my pack because chances are you're not going to need to access it. Another key thing I'll bring for race day is this rubbery reusable cup. Not only are you not littering by taking a cup with you out on the trails or having garbage in your pack, but you're able to leave the aid station with some broth or some Coca-Cola or whatever it might be. So I usually like to keep that in my front pocket here, and it's usually pretty easy to find this little loop and yank it out when you need to. So the last thing to cover off on would be poles. Whether or not to use poles is a constant debate among ultra runners. I personally like to use poles for any race longer than 100K or if there's significant sustained climbing, but it's a personal choice. So there's a lot of places you can store poles, but it'll kind of depend on the vest that you choose. So some have options to put them up front here. I personally really like to use a belt, and this will go on my hips. One thing about poles is, while they're not super heavy, they can be kind of awkward to carry. So the thing you want to worry about the most is just eliminating bounce. So for me, keeping them at my hips is like a pretty anchoring place to keep them. So I'll slide them in and out of these straps for every descent that I do. Remember, ultra running is definitely hard, but it doesn't need to be overly complicated. So with the right gear packed in the right way, you can be prepared for some pretty awesome adventures.